Yo, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy HD MMA back at it again with another video. Today, we are going over my picks and predictions for UFC Fight Night, Bautista versus Oliveira. I would say this is a pretty low key card. There are some good fights. I do think there are going to be some good matchups on here. Um, I don't think this video is going to be too long because a lot of my notes here aren't that in depth. I think a lot of these matchups are going to be pretty clear cut. I do think there are going to be some clear winners on here, from what I can see and from what I know. So I'm going to try and get this one over with quick so I can get this out. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. Starting off, I'm going to be going over every fight on the card, starting with the first fight on the prelims all the way to that main event, which I might have some controversial and not that popular takes on, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So starting off with the first fight on the card, we got Claudia Seguia versus Priscilla Cachoeira. I'm going with Claudia over here by a second round sub. I think she's going to have a better grappling advantage over Cachoeira. Cachoeira, she's just like the most blockheaded female probably on the roster. She just comes at you with her fucking hands at her shoulders, completely chin up in the air, just not defending herself, and just fucking swings at you like she has fucking 10 extra chromosomes. And I think Claudia is going to be able to take advantage of that fucking of that let's just say short bus aggression that Cachoeira has, and she's going to be able to tie her up in the grappling with that advantage that she has. So I think she's going to be able to use that well in this fight. Tie her up in the grappling, get her down. She's taller and longer than Cachoeira as well, so I think she's going to be able to sort of control the range and get into a grappling situation when she wants to. I think from there she's going to be able to take the fight to the ground, and I think she's going to be able to out grapple Cachoeira. Going to be able to get to dominant position, get the mount, get the back and all that stuff, and I see her getting a sub in the second round. I don't think it's going to be that like much of a steamroll. I think in the first round or first couple minutes in the first round, I do think the aggression of Cachoeira is going to be a bit of a problem for Claudia, because she's not really that high output on the feet. She does just kind of like stand there, and her striking really isn't that developed. But I do think she's going to be able to get it to the ground and put some grappling on Cachoeira. Just pressure her, sort of with the grappling, with the clinch, get her down from there, some throws in the clinch, and get the fight to the ground and sub her. And let's say in the second round, maybe with like an arm bar or something like that from the mount. I could see a sub from mount, maybe like a triangle or an arm bar, or like a mounted guillotine, because Cachoeira does sort of just shell up when she's on the ground. She doesn't really have that developed of a ground game from what I can see. So yeah, I think Claudia is going to be able to get it done pretty convincingly. So yeah, I'm going with Cachoeira, but I mean not Cachoeira, fucking Claudia by a second round sub. Moving on, we got Ewan. God, I didn't fucking learn how to pronounce these guys' names. Ewan Gafarov versus Jacob Wiklax. I'm going with Gafarov over here by second round TKO. Wiklax did not look that good in his UFC debut. I know it's patchy mix, and I know he's fucking ass at fighting, but if Patchy Mix is that ass, I think he could have, like, Jacob Wicklex could have at least done better, at least look better in the striking or whatever. Patchy Mix is very, very shit, and Jacob Wicklex in that fight, especially in like round 2 and 3, in the later rounds, he was slowing down a lot, and he looked very vulnerable on the feet. And Gafarov, he is deceptively good. His one weakness, though, Gafarov, is his jiu-jitsu. He did get guillotined by Saeed Nurmagomedov, who does have a sneaky guillotine that's like his instinctual like takedown defense. Whenever somebody shoots on him, is to automatically just try and latch up a guillotine or some sort of front choke. And Gafarov did get caught up by that, and he did in his first fight, or not in his first fight, in his last fight with Rinya Nakamura. Rinya Nakamura did like slide up into a mounted guillotine on Gafarov in their fight. I think in the second round, he was in that position for quite a bit of time. It didn't really defend it. He just Nakamura didn't really have it fully locked in. He just sort of like waited it out and just waited for Nakamura's arms to tire out. He didn't really like do anything technical to escape the position, or even like try and fight hands or whatever the fuck. So I do think his the jiu-jitsu of and especially the submission defense of Gafarov is a bit lacking. But I think in the stand-up and all other facets of the game, I think has a clear advantage over Wicklex, especially in the striking. He does blitz in Gafarov with combos a lot, and I can see that working against Wicklex, who doesn't really throw much on the feet. He stands very tall, Wicklex does, because he is like pretty tall for the division. He's 5'10" at bantamweight, which is tall, and he's gonna have a height and reach advantage in this fight, Wicklex. So I can see Gafarov blitzing in on Wicklex when Wicklex is kind of just standing tall at range, and I see that working for him. Blitzing in with boxing combinations. Gafarov also moves a lot, which Wicklex doesn't do. Wicklex is also very stationary. So I see him sort of out footworking and out maneuvering Wicklex on the feet and blitzing in with boxing combinations as the fight goes on. I do see Gafarov sort of filling it out in the first round a bit. I think he's got to be mindful of the takedowns as well. When he shoots in, he does shoot in with his head on the outside, which allows guys to, snatch up that guillotine. And Wicklex, he does have a pretty good submission game. He did use the guillotine to sweep Patchy Mix, and he did latch it up a lot in this fight. As soon as, even like when Patchy Mix even tried to clinch with him, Wicklex immediately like jumped guard and went for the guillotine. So I do think Gafarov's got to be mindful of that, but I think in the striking he has a clear advantage, and I see him outmaneuvering and out speeding, sort of outboxing Wicklex on the feet and putting Wicklex out. Wicklex, he did not look all of that in his debut, and I don't think he really won that because he was sort of outclassing Mix and like putting it on Mix and showing grit. It was really just up to Mix just not doing enough. And yeah. So I think fucking Gafarov, he's gonna be able to fraud check fucking Wicklex at this point, and they're the same age as well. I didn't even realize that. So yeah, I think Gafarov's gonna take it home here. Moving on, we got Wang Kong versus Eduarda Miura. I got Wang Kong here by unanimous decision. Blah. I think Wang Kong is, we're gonna see a Wang Kong masterclass, and I think she's gonna piece up Miura over here for all 3 rounds. It is a flyweight, so I don't really expect a knockout from Wang Kong, but maybe if Miura is not as like good as I think she is, or just doesn't perform as well, I think we could see a KO from Wang Kong. But I think Wang Kong overall is going to be too technical on the feet for Miura. Pick her shots well, use the range, make Miura sort of like make reads off Miura. That's what I'm trying to say. Make reads off Miura. Make her fucking, shell up when she doesn't want it to. Pick the shots there. Make her think she's safe in range, and then hit her with something crafty and technical. I do think just overall she's gonna just piece up Miura. Just put it on her, get ahead of her in strikes if she needs to. Chop the legs of Miura as well. Wang Kong's got nasty low kicks, and just put hands on her overall. Miura, she starts slow and fights a lot. She doesn't really do much in the first round, and she doesn't really move. She doesn't really have that good of footwork, so I don't think she's gonna be able to get away from the shots of Wang Kong when she's in the zone and like teeing off on her. And I think Wang Kong just gonna make her look fucking silly. I think she can defend the grappling threats of Miura. She's not really that like accomplished of a grappler or anything. So I do think Wang Kong is gonna be able to defend that and just keep the fight standing and piece her up. So going with Wang Kong by unanimous decision. Moving on, we got the original opponent pulled out. So we got fucking Javid Basharat versus Gianni Vasquez. I went with Basharat in the original fight with his original opponent, and I'm going with Basharat still here. There's not really going to be much Vasquez can do on a fucking 3 days, 2 days notice against Basharat, who is coming off a brutal KO loss to Ricky Simone, and he's also on a 2-fight losing streak if I'm not mistaken. I think he lost the fight before the KO. So I think Basharat's got something to prove, and I think he's gonna be too technical for anything Vasquez has to throw at him, and on the 2 days notice, he Basharat, he has good grappling as well, but the thing about Basharat is he doesn't have any finishing ability at all. Like, at all. On the ground, he doesn't really have a submission threat, and in the striking, he doesn't really have the power to really hurt guys and put them away. So I think Basharat is going to be able to pick at him for all 3 rounds, out-grapple him for all 3 rounds. I think Basharat's going to have a conditioning advantage as well, since he has been training for has been through like an actual fight camp, and Vasquez is like I said, coming off that 2-3 days notice. Basharat typically does slow down in fights a bit, especially as the fight goes on, so I think he's actually going to have a conditioning advantage in this circumstance and situation, surprisingly. So I think it's gonna be just tough shit for Vasquez, and a good way for Basharat to bounce back. So I'm going with Basharat here. And he was that's what I fucking forgot. He was fighting Nurmagomedov, and I would have picked him to win against Nurmagomedov anyway. So moving on, we got Bruna Brazil versus Ketlin Souza. I'm going with Bruna Brazil here. Bruna Brazil, she's been slipping in her career. She's like been win one, lose one in her fights recently. Her last fight was on like a road to UFC Shanghai event that it's like not even like it's counted on her record, but it's not like an actual event that she was on, like a fight night or a numbered card. So I don't know what was up with that. But in this fight, I do think she's gonna win with the grappling, get throws in the clinch. Brazil, she has, when she decides to use them, she has good throws in the clinch. She chucks girls around pretty easily. In her last fight, she wasn't really using her grappling too much. She was sort of staying on the feet and throwing these very slow, shitty spinning attacks and trying to strike with the girl on the feet. This little the Asian girl, versus her name's like Shai Ming or something like that. The chick who's like the doctor or whatever the fuck. She was, in my opinion, she was staying with her and striking too long on the feet with her. But when she used her grappling, she was pretty dominant with it. So I think she's gonna be able to use that in this fight. Kellen Vieira, she's just pretty fucking average in everything. So yeah, and she's a slow starter as well. I don't really see anything of danger from Kellen Vieira that makes me like weary of her in any way. So I think Brenda Brazil, she has good kicks as well. Brazil does. So I think she's gonna be able to use that in this fight. Good high kicks. She got a high kick knockout in her Contender Series fight. So I think she's gonna be able to use the kicks as well. And I think Brazil's gonna be able to pick it up as the fight goes on, and sort of out hustler and out grappler in the later rounds to a unanimous decision. Moving on, we got Nikolai Varetnikov versus Nico Price. This one had me fucking fencing for a little bit. Since Nico Price, he is very dangerous, and I just can't trust fucking Nikolai Varetnikov to make a good decision in a fucking fight for his life. Like, Varetnikov has some of the most questionable decision making and fight IQ I've ever seen out of a fighter. Like, just anytime he's in an advantageous position getting momentum, he does some stupid shit like throwing a fucking wheel kick in like pocket range, fucking pulling submissions when guys are going for takedowns on him, going for stupid submissions on the ground, just overall just dumb shit. Just stupid shit from Varetnikov in a lot of his fights. And he's had a tough go at it. He only has one fight in the UFC, a split decision over some fucking fat-headed fucking featherweight that is a welterweight for some reason. But the thing about Nico Price is he is so fucking slow with everything he throws in the fucking cage. It is astonishing to see how fucking slow this guy moves. He's honestly looks like fucking Nico Price looks like every fucking bone in his fucking arms and legs have been dislocated and relocated 10 fucking times over. And he's like just trying to throw them to make sure they don't pop out of place. And like he honestly throws like fucking his coach tell him to throw slowly. Like that's what his like coach and his fucking team advise him to do, is make sure you throw every fucking punch you throw extra slow, so your fucking opponent can catch you and throw fucking 3 more punches by the time it takes you to throw fucking 1 hook. That's how Nico Price fights. And fucking Varetnikov, he's at least 3 times as fast as Price when he throws his punches. So I'm going with Varetnikov by unanimous decision. I think he's just gonna be more technical than Price on the feet and just be way faster than Price on the feet. And I think even though he does like pull fucking stupid submissions and go for guillotines whenever people shoot on him, I think he can get back up from the grappling exchanges and defend them from Price. So yeah, I'm going with Voretnikov here by unanimous decision. I think he's gonna just be too fast for Price for the first like 2 rounds and win the fight based on that. So yeah. Moving on to the headliner of the prelims, we got Alex Morono versus Daniil Donchenko. I'm going with Donchenko, bro. I think he's gonna do fucking terrible things to fucking Morono here. I think when this fight goes on, we're gonna be watching a fucking snuff film, and it's gonna be fucking Donchenko putting a fucking beating from hell on Moreno. Donchenko, he's a very exciting prospect coming off. He won tough. So he was coming off that. He did that in his last fight. Just beat the hell out of the Brazilian guy he was fighting, cut him up with elbows, and just fucking put it on him for a TKO win in, I think, the first round. And I think he's gonna do the same, if not worse, to Morono over here, who's old. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, I think. Morono is old, just slow, doesn't have any power in his shots whatsoever. Doesn't plant and throw whatsoever. He kind of just stays on his toes and sort of skirts around on the back foot a lot. And I think a guy like Daniil is going to be able to find him, put it on him. Daniil, he has great Muay Thai, great elbows, knees in the clinch, all that. He also has good takedown defense. So I don't think Moreno's going to be able to get him to the ground and hold him or whatever. And I think it's going to be a brutal masterclass from Daniil Donchenko. He's going to be able to get things done very quickly in the first round, or maybe just beat him up for the entire first round and then finish him in like the last few seconds, like the last 10 seconds. So I think either way you slice it, it's going to be a brutal performance for Daniil Donchenko. And I think he's going to do well in welterweight. Just a little sidebar. I think he's gonna have some issues in the size and like the reach, because he is only 5'11" with a 71-inch reach. A lot of guys, especially in the top 15 and stuff, those guys they're big and long, and I think they're bigger, longer, and taller than Daniil Donchenko. So I think for now he's gonna have some fun fights, exciting performances when he's fighting like washed up unks and just guys who aren't on that level. But when he gets up into the rankings, he's gonna have a bit of trouble with the size and reach and stuff. So yeah, but for now, he's gonna smoke this little fucker, this little bald old fuck. Moving on to the first fight on the main card, we got Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. I'm going with Dustin Jacoby here by a round 2 TKO. I think it's going to be a masterclass, an classic masterclass from Jacoby. Jacoby, he's only really lost to good guys. The Alonzo Menifield one, that's Asian fucking like shit. But he's only really lost to good guys outside of that. Roundtree, he didn't even lose to Roundtree. He got fucking robbed in that fight. He was piecing up Roundtree, but he lost to Roundtree, lost to Mirzakhanov, and one other person, I think, that I can't remember. That's like in the top 15 or whatever. I can't remember their names, but he's only really lost to guys in the rankings in the top 15 at light heavyweight. And Julius Walker, who I don't think is not all that. That's why I personally think I haven't really heard of him or heard the hype, even though he's a up-and-coming prospect. He's young as well. He's big, but his performances in the cage have not been all that. They've aged pretty poorly. He lost to Alonzo Menifield in his debut, which he took on short notice. Didn't really look good on that fight. Tied down the first round, but it was on short notice. Or tired out after the first round. Pretty much was looking really sloppy on the feet. and he took fucking Rafael Kakera to a unanimous decision, which I think is a fucking horrendous look for you. If you're any type of light heavyweight prospect with any sort of skill, you should fucking smoke Rafael Kakera by whatever you want. And the fact that he took Kakera to unanimous decision looks like shit in my opinion. So I think Dustin Jacoby is going to be able to defend the grappling of Walker. And I think he's going to be too technical on the feet. I think he's going to piece up Walker when he tries to come in with his kicks. Walker, he throws a lot of like same side attacks. Like he'll throw like 2 lead body kicks in a row and like 2 like lead like hooks in a row and stuff like that. And I think a guy like Dustin Jacoby, who is a very experienced kickboxer, he's gonna fucking look at that and fucking just be like, this is the guy you fucking wanted me to fight, and he's just gonna fucking piece up Walker for pretty much all 3 rounds, defend the grappling, and it's gonna be a fucking pretty much a masterclass from Dustin Jacoby. So going with Dustin Jacoby, round 2 KO. I think it's gonna take a bit for him to get the range. Then once the fight goes on in that second round, I think he's gonna put it on Walker and finish him. So yeah. Moving on, we got Jean Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. Basharat, who is the better Basharat brother in my opinion, and I think he's gonna win this fight as well. I think Farid, he has better hands than Matsumoto. I think Matsumoto is gonna have an activity advantage and maybe a bit of a speed advantage in this fight as well. But I think in the boxing, in the hands, it's gonna be Farid all day. He also has a size, not a size, but a height and reach advantage in this fight as well. And I think he's gonna be able to grapple with Matsumoto pretty effectively. Rob Font, who is not really known for his grappling, mostly known for his boxing, was grappling very well with Matsumoto. He was throwing up Kimuras and triangles and fucking hitting switches and defending the takedowns and the control of Matsumoto very well. Getting back up to his feet and putting that jab on him, backing Matsumoto up. And Farid, he has a similar height and reach than Rob Font, so I do see Farid just sort of being able to use that and pressure Matsumoto backwards. I do think Matsumoto is going to be able to land some like good leg kicks here and there in this fight. He throws a lot of them, but overall, I think Farid is going to be able to land the better shots with the hands and more effective shots, and he's going to be able to grapple with Matsumoto as well. So I see him being able to edge the fight out with that. Moving on. Yeah, I thought we were at the featured fight. Yeah, moving on. We got Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I'm going with Oleksiejczuk in this one by round 2 TKO. I think Barriault, he's very average. He's also getting old. He's been around forever. Little did I know, because I didn't know fucking Marc-Andre Barriault has been around that long in the UFC. I thought he was like a sort of like a prospect that hasn't really put it together. I guess he sort of was. That's why he's in the position that he's in. But yeah, I think Oleksiejczuk, he's looking way improved. He pieced up Gerald Meerschaert, which is a pretty fucking which at the time that he did it was a pretty fucking difficult task. If you weren't like on your P's and Q's against Meerschaert in the middleweight division and you were like sort of a hot prospect, it was very possible that Meerschaert could fucking fraud you out and make you look stupid. And fucking Oleksiejczuk, he passed that test with flying colors, and I think he's very much improved. He's improved his power a lot. He's sitting down on his punches. He's improving his boxing combinations a lot. Working with the fighting nurse and all that stuff, and I think he's gonna be able to box the head off Marc-Andre Barriault, who is very sort of average in his skills. He was getting pieced up by Sharon Magomedov, who we've learned is not really that good. Yeah, I'm going with fucking Oleksiejczuk to be too technical on the feet in the boxing, especially put combos, string together combos on Barrio and piece him up with the hands and TKO him in the second round. Moving on, and this is also open stance as well. So I see the left hand sort of like a jab to 1, 2, 3 from fucking from Oleksiejczuk being able to land beautifully on Barrier. Moving on to the featured fight of the night, we got Gelton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. I'm going with Kuniev by fucking round 2 KO. A lot of round 2 KOs that I've predicted, but I'm going with Kuniev in this one. Gelton Almeida, we all know, brought the fucking, just stunk it up in his last fight against fucking Volkov. Not doing anything on top, just getting takedowns, not fucking doing anything with them, not landing anything of damage, and just lost the fight because of that. And in the fucking heavyweight division, you can't just grab someone and hold him. You can't grab him, you hold him. You can't fucking do that in the heavyweight division anymore, especially with these fucking rule changes that he's clearly been affected by. So I think Kuniev, who is a good prospect, he was on the sauce. Team B, by the way, he was on the sauce. He's been suspended for that. He's coming back now, so we might see a little change in his physique, in his performance, which does worry me. His aggression and his pressure, that might see a little dip, but I think he's still gonna be enough to fucking deal with Almeida here, defend the takedowns and get Almeida in like a clinch exchange. And I think in the clinch he's gonna tear up Almeida in there and fuck him up and KO him with like a elbow or something, or some short hooks in the clinch, some dirty boxing. So I'm going with Kuniev to be able to do that. Moving on, we got the co-main event. Fucking I fucking blinked right there. We got Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. I'm going with Horiguchi in this one by a unanimous decision. I think we're gonna see another masterclass from our boy Horiguchi, who I fucking picked against in his fight with Tagir Ulanbekov. And I've seen my ways. I've fucking repented. I've seen my ways. I've seen how I was wrong, and I think and I'm a Horiguchi truther now. I've that term fucking y'all must forgot. I fucking forgot. I forgot about Horiguchi. That's my bad. My fault, OG. My fault, OG. I forgot about Horiguchi. He is fucking super, super good, and I think he's gonna be able to put it on fucking Amir Albazi over here. A guy who hasn't fought in like a year and some change. Albazi, I didn't even know that he's fought. His last fight was in 2024 in November. And he hasn't fought since, and he's coming off a loss as well. Robbed Kai Car France, was getting pieced up by Kai Car France, was trying to aura farm, and I think the second round, trying to fucking walk forward on Kai Car France. Didn't do nothing for him. You're not him, little bro. He tried to hit him with the Michael Chandler, and he is not him. So I think Kyoji Horiguchi is gonna have a speed advantage in this fight. Gonna have a footwork, a movement advantage, and I also think he's gonna have a grappling advantage in this fight. I think he's gonna be able to move around, scramble, just be way too technical and too active for Amir Albazi to hold down and sort of control. I know he likes to do that, and on the feet, he's not that good of a striker. Was getting pieced up by Kai Car France, who is a pretty decent striker in his own right. But if Kai Car France is piecing you up, I think Kyoji Horiguchi can put it on you. And I don't think Horiguchi is gonna finish Albazi, because Albazi has never been finished, but I do think he's gonna be able to just outclass him in general in the grappling and stuff. So I got Kyoji Horiguchi. Yeah, unanimous decision. Moving on, we got the main event of the evening. Mario Bautista almost said Batista. Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. I'm going with Mario Bautista in this one. I know that might surprise y'all. I know y'all might say, "What's he thinking?" But hear me out. Vinicius Oliveira, he's overrated, bro. I think he's overrated as fuck, in my opinion. He swings like fucking like the captain of the short bus. He's not really that. I was just thinking of that Kyler Phillips fight that he had. He was literally just fucking street beefs maxing on Kyler Phillips, just fucking running across the fucking octagon with his hands by his waist. He was damn near trying to mug Kyler Phillips in that bitch. So yeah, I think Oliveira, I think he's pretty overrated in my opinion. I think Bautista, a lot of people are sort of forgetting about him due to his like fight with Umar, but people literally forget. People forget that he was giving Umar a lot of problems in that fight. He had him in the toe hold. He was scrambling with Umar. He dropped Umar in the second round, and he was just overall just a very difficult task for Umar than from what a lot of people would predict. So yeah, I think he's gonna be able to do the same stuff in this fight. I think fucking Bautista, he's gonna have a cardio, volume, and an activity advantage against Oliveira. Oliveira, who he does sort of slow down as the fight goes on. He has like a very